What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads, fathers, and male caregivers. That's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that movement, I have been part of a team that's reached out directly and indirectly to over 500,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I'd like to say you are blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. We are broadcasting on, it's March 7th, the first Saturday in March 2026, and hope you are keeping blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. It looks like in Toronto, where I am, we're beginning to get spring. Like we went up, we're up to around, for the Fahrenheit people, we're on around 55 degrees, and it's cloudy. Could you imagine if it was sunny? It'd be easily 60 degrees. We'll take it. And we've been getting off and on rain. No worries about that. We can work that out. We can work with that. So I'm speaking that everyone's doing fine, keeping safe, and doing their due and doing their thing. And, it's interesting. So you are watching Primetime Live with Aisha and LaLa. Just want to make sure you're watching that. And we had a first, something we hadn't done in a long time. Yesterday, we actually got on a call together and chopped it up a little bit. It was a lot of fun. You guys won't be seeing it. We won't record it, by the way, but it was a lot of fun hanging out. And it just, as I'm going to use this, my dad says a lot. He says it was tonic for me. It was tonic hanging out with these two ladies. Now, yesterday, Aisha had some things going on. Lala's saying her hubby's sick. Okay, no problem. So let me bring up Aisha and especially LaLa today, right?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, look at this. When LaLa first came on, I went,
We're having brownout conditions here.
Oh.
Yeah, so my connection might be a little dinky today, but
okay. You get off easy. Is this LaLa? Like it was funny. I was calling her Dr. LaLa. If you would have heard LaLa when she first came on from the green room, I'm going, what is going on with you?
Sprinkle dust. Put the sprinkle magic dust on it. I don't want it.
I almost said, LaLa, don't do the show today because you're just not 100%.
Cooties, man. The cooties keep trying to fight people, and I'm fighting back.
The cooties. Man, are we going to play tag now next?
Probably. That's how it goes in the house, right? When one gets it, then the other one gets it, and sometimes then you get it back. So we are trying not to do that.
Okay, so what else is going on, ladies?
I actually have been I spent today reading some really good essays by some high school students who are part of the youth conference that my mother's sorority is doing in March. And so I'm one of the judges of the essay contest.
Nice.
So I read 13 essays today by girls. Well, the topic is lost that quick. Creating generational wealth through culture, wellness, and education.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I read the ones for the girls today. I'll read the boys and make the comments tomorrow, but they were, there's some really good writers. There's one in particular. I was just like, oh my God, this was brilliant. But they were very, very good, very well written. And it's nice to see kids take the kind of time to enter things like this. There are going to be people who have entered the science portion. There were some who did art, the art competition, but I am judging the writing competition.
Was any of the stuff that you've read so far, does it look any AI generated?
Well, here's the thing. I have been very good at being able to check and tell what's AI generated when it comes to writing.
Okay.
And I think using it to polish, I don't have a problem with. There were some where I was kind of like, yeah, but I can tell when it's like part that people are doing it in parts. You know what I mean? Like when they struggle to get it open, but when they start talking about their own personal experiences,
Right,
and things like that, and making the connections with their family, and you really get to see their voice. That's where it shines. And we get to make comments, and so a lot of my comments are just really encouraging people to lean into their own voice, because I know it's tempting to want to go that route because it's easy, it's quick, it feels efficient, but the writer's voice gets lost in it. And if you're like, for example, not a published writer where the AI assistant can go and review all of your work, like I can do that with my own.
sure.
It can review all of my published work and kind of get a handle on my voice. I do that for like emails, but it's just going to pump out general stuff. That stuff that it does is in the voice of the person who programmed it. So you're talking a 21-year-old white kid with very little lived experience and doesn't have those things. And so you really have to mold your AI tool to who you are if you're using it for writing specifically.
All right. Dr. LaLa, I'll start off with you. Give me a win you've had over the last week.
Oh, I had a vocal breakthrough on one of Yeba's song. Now, if y'all don't know who Yeba is, you need to go and check. What?
Look, I don't.
Oh no, Dr. Vibe, I'm gonna have to school you on Yeba.
Oh,
Yeba is this singer.
Hold on. What happened to this Dr. LaLa voice? So like the LaLa has come back. Go on.
It's in and out, but hey, I done told you I'm not claiming that. So we're gonna move that on over on this side because I don't want it.
Okay.
But Yeba is an absolutely fabulous singer. She's out of Arkansas, believe it or not, little country girl. And she's done a lot with Robert Glasper and many other people, but she has a phenomenal voice, and she does these fantastic runs that you're just like, all you can do is just sit there and just be blown away by her. So I've been working really hard with my voice, also learning, getting real serious again with my guitar. Let my husband teach me now. Why not use the expert and not the apps? And I was able to do one of those runs this week. So that may not mean a lot to some people, but that means a lot to me.
That's large. Aisha?
Yeah,
way,
really.
Nice glasses on you, by the way.
Huh?
Nice glasses on you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
My win for this week was really getting those essays done, because my mother volunteered me for this for this. Okay.
Volunteer or voluntold? Volunteer or voluntold?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Voluntold. So I've been doing quite a bit of helping them with a few things. And so being able to just take the time and getting a mental break to sit in with those essays for clarity and read them through and really try and take in what young people are thinking and feeling about things. For me, that was a win, because it just reaffirmed my faith in the future, considering what we're dealing with.
Nice. Interesting. So we always like chatting about music, and wow, we got some family in already.
And my grandniece turned 11 today.
Wonderful. All of us, if there's one of the many things all three of us have in common, we love our music. And we also love our crime dramas. Okay, so like, hold on, just no go any further, because we go right off. And I am the ladies know I love my 48 hours. and my Dateline. But last Saturday night, 48 Hours is on. There's a musical tie to this, believe it or not. It's about 20 to 11. I'm getting a text at 20 to 11. I'm going, okay, let me just take a look. There's a good friend. I've known her. We met at least 20, at least 20, 25 years ago. She's a big lover of music. And I hadn't heard from her in a year or two. She texts me and goes, thank you for the introduction to Will Down. I go, what do you mean? Because I just finished seeing him in concert.
Mm.
And I said, it was on my radar, but I said, I'm not going to go because it's on a Saturday. It's about an hour and a half drive. And I love my prime time. I don't want to, I love my prime time. And we were texting back and forth. She saw the concert and she said it was phenomenal. He was the opening act. Take a guess who he opened for. And this gentleman's been around. Pardon me?
Shantae Moore?
No, don't you want me to faint? Because when Shantae Moore makes me faint. That's my thing about Shantae Moore and myself. That we don't go.
So Will Downing and Shantae Moore had that song "Candlelight and You" together.
Yes, no, but it's a gentleman R&B singer. He's in his late 70s now. I'll give you a hint. He did a song called the Woo Woo Song.
Jeffrey Osborne.
Woo, woo, Jeffrey Osborne.
Okay.
Wow. Can you woo woo woo?
Yes.
Okay, here we go again.
You see?
I do not like Jeffrey Osborne. I feel like Jeffrey Osborne the way I feel like my best friend and I had this. We'll agree to disagree. I feel like Jeffrey Osborne the way I feel about Sade. I do not like Sade.
Oh,
you don't like Sade?
No, I feel like her voice. I feel like she's hiding her voice behind a film of phlegm.
Oh gosh, what a description.
I am not going to let Will watch this show.
My best friend and I had this because you can vote right now. They have fan voting for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she's nominated.
Yes,
and you can vote once a day. So my best friend and I were talking about this, and she just doesn't think that Lauryn Hill should even be nominated, right? Because she's like,
no, I'm
sorry. The way you feel about Sade is how I feel about Lauryn Hill. I can't.
And that was a conversation that we had.
Now, Lauryn Hill, the only time, and I will say I was the only time I saw them was way back when. Who was it? Was it? Oh, I can't remember who opened for them. I'm trying to say, was it Living Color opened up for Lauryn Hill, and Living Color blew the Fugees right off the stage. Like it was.
I saw the Fugees in they were at there's a place here, it used to be a club here, small club where people would come before they went to the big ones in New York called Toad's Place. And the Fugees were at Toad's Place. And I saw them there like when they first came out with nappy heads. And that's also the place where I first saw Wu-Tang when they first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they used to do like those underground hip hop groups, but then they also did the underground grunge and rock groups too. It was a really nice mix. But yeah, I give Lauryn Hill a little bit of grace because I realized that some of her struggle it's mental health.
Okay.
And it's kind of hard to do music and things like that when you're dealing with mental health issues, and then the celebrity can make people. Ugh.
The thing if I mention Lauryn Hill to people go, "Oh, is she going to show up?" And second of all, she never starts her concerts on time.
And are you going to pay the musicians that worked very hard to be behind you?
Yeah.
I've never been not.
I deal with just the memory of Lauryn Hill up to 98, and I leave it at that. I leave it there.
No, and I thought Sade is touring again right now in the U.S.
Yeah.
I thought she was coming here to Canada, but not. But as much as I like Sade, her band is tight. Her band is tight. I love her band. Excuse me, fantastic. And we already got. Okay, family, we'll go to the comments after because we've already started.
But does every song have to be like a mellow, smooth? I think that's the part for me that is like
yeah, I can
Will feels that way also, and me too about Moonchild. I love Moonchild, but I cannot really listen to them a whole lot because, like, girl, Can you please get out of that zone? You always, and it's great for 1 or 2 songs, but after that, it's like, sing. Would you just sing?
Right. And that's how I feel about Sade. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, does every song have to have that tempo of Smooth Operator? And it really
I can see that point.
But
Are
y'all
you
do know that's not her name.
I know.
Sade is the name of the band.
Of the band, right?
Her
right,
name is Helen.
right. Well, Helen needs to switch it up a bit. And this week was my favorite female singer's birthday, Tina Marie.
Yes.
are you ladies excited about Jill Scott being back up?
Who?
But you know what's interesting? I was getting ready to say that because someone asked her about, her top 5 R&B songs. And, she mentioned Prince and she mentioned Tina Marie. And the very first thing she mentions was Fire and Desire with Tina Marie and Rick James. She was like, you can't get over that because just the intensity, so I was just thinking about that. She did. I love to hear her top 5. Adore was in there.
Well, her favorite album is the same as mine. It's Parade.
Okay.
And I tell you, my sister hates Jill Scott. She can't stand Jill Scott. She said because every time she sings, she has to put food in the song. And my sister especially hates the way, that part where she says, "Made myself toast to scrambled eggs." She hates the way she says grits. My sister, if you really want to make her mad, you play that part. That and Love Like This by Faith Evans, my sister will cringe. She will try to scratch your eyes out.
Okay. All right.
She really hates that song by Faith Evans. And she's hated that since 97. Okay.
No, I love Golden. There's the house remix of Golden. That is
my favorite song. Not The Way. A Long Walk. A Long Walk is my favorite.
Living my life like it's golden. That's part of my motivational playlist. The house,
and that is not easy to sing. Ask LaLa how she knows, because LaLa sings it when we go out. That is not an easy song to sing.
It's difficult.
Which one?
Yeah, it's very difficult. Golden.
Golden. Have you heard the house remix of it? It's out of bounds. It's like, I mean,
you have to go listen to it when we're done.
Yeah, man. Like I just picture myself listening to that song, driving a Ferrari in open land, like 120 miles an hour, just go, just getting the feeling the wind on my brow, on my scalp, on my dome, just enjoying that song.
Well, I'll tell you something.
Well, I'll behave now.
It is getting harder and harder for me to listen to some of the people I loved in hip hop because there's such disappointments right now, and I'm just like, the list keeps going. I can't listen to a Snoop song at all. It just makes
I'm done with him.
I'm just done with him.
Nothing of Snoop.
I am just done with him. I'm just like,
No, Snoop is a marketing machine. He ain't an artist anymore. So
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, when you went to the dark side, I don't have nothing
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about so many of them. It's like, I have no problem crossing you off.
Right.
It's so disappointing.
I don't want to get this show too far off the rails. We do have important other topics to chat about. So what I'm going to do is we are going to go for a break. And when we come back, we'll do some housekeeping. And then we got things to chat about.
And how.
College Black Men Can Talk live on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Dr. Vibe, Kofi Sadat, and Kofi Morris come together to have real, unfiltered conversations about life, culture, and community from a Black Canadian man point of view.
Watch Primetime Saturdays on Saturdays 5 p.m. Eastern, where Aisha K. Staggers and LaLa Key try to make sense of the nonsense in American politics and culture.
And by the way, they do a very good job of it. Just want to tell you.
Feeling at it because we can't make no sense of this garbage.
Because it doesn't make sense.
Oh my gosh. All right. So let's do the housekeeping. Girlfriend's Chat will be back one day. One day. You can still catch it on Patreon and Substack. I have a feeling I may have to jump in and I want to see a resurrection. Maybe the resurrection.
No, we're really waiting till after I'm past my surgery period.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make a request. I'd like to be on the first new episode.
Oh, Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right.
You got to put a wig on, though. Sorry.
Oh, mercy.
Sorry. You want to be a girlfriend? Girlfriend? You got to put a wig on.
This episode is so far off the rails right now, but I will tell you, I've a little fun thing. I've always, you know how they always have those women's hair commercials, they put their hair and they come back up like that. I've always wanted to do that for one commercial. Just freak people out. All right, Primetime Saturday store. There's the link there. Join our Discord group. Please email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com or click on the link. We're having fun trying to get through this show today, but we're looking forward to it. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Substack. And I think my days on TikTok are counting down, but that's a whole other conversation. All right.
I want to know that conversation.
I've never had TikTok, so.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that. And the thing is, if you subscribe, at least engage, whether that's responding to comments or watching live on the replay. Just don't sit there. All right? Please. Because I'd rather have you not subscribe if you're not going to do anything there, to be honest with you. Advertise your business, product, or service on any of the platforms that I am on. Email me, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. Indie Soup TV, and she's already in the house, Dr. Tachi, and I don't worry, I'm keeping a watch on my roadcaster because I have a feeling you're going to be calling in, which we always love you to do. And she runs Indie Soup TV, independent content creators platform on YouTube. Over 28,000 subscribers to her YouTube channel, which puts her YouTube channel subscriber-wise in the top 4% of all YouTube channels. So you see stuff like this on her platform with her independent content creators. Now, let's get to comments before we start, because there were a whole pile of comments here. So let's go back to number one fan.
Hey, Jen.
She's in the house. Myers is in the house. Then we got Enlightened Beings. Love First says, hi, family. She's watching from her phone. Thank you. She also says, that's right, LaLa. Don't claim it. Vitamin C and zinc and rest. Okay. Dr. Tachi says, happy Saturday. Oh, here we go. Enlightened Beings says, yuck, Lauren Hill. Behave, LaLa. And she also says, Lauren is not a nice person. No excuses. Dr. Tachi says, I love Sade. And then she also goes, well, Aisha, Sade's voice lends to being mellow and smooth, not necessarily upbeat. And also,
I don't mean that the songs have to be upbeat. I just switch up the. I need some variety.
Well, her middle name is Sade, and I know that, and her name is Helen Folasad Adu. She's half Nigerian.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's our comments so far. All right, so we're done with that. Now we've got our first story ready to go, and okay,
girl.
Okay, let's play that. When I hear the girl, that's the intro. Here we go.
Former South Dakota governor and now former Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has been fired by President Trump. That's right, in a major shakeup inside Trump's second-term cabinet, Noem has reportedly been shown the door after months of tension, policy disagreements, and political missteps that finally boiled over this week. Segment Doys. Sources close to the White House say the decision came down late last night after an emergency meeting with senior advisors. The official reason? Loss of confidence. But behind the scenes, insiders describe growing friction between Noem and Trump's inner circle, especially over border enforcement tactics, internal power struggles, and her recent public comments that were seen as out of step with the administration's messaging. Segment Trees. This firing comes at a politically sensitive time. The border remains one of Trump's top priorities as he works to tighten immigration policy and rebuild credibility with his base. Kristi Noem, once seen as a rising star in conservative politics and even a possible VP contender, now finds herself on the outside looking in her political future uncertain. Supporters say she was undermined by rivals in Trump's orbit. Critics argue she failed to deliver on key security promises. Segment 4. The Trump campaign isn't saying much publicly. A short statement simply thanked Noem for her service and said a new DHS secretary will be named soon. Behind the polite language, though, this is a clear signal that Trump is reasserting control over his cabinet. Some Washington insiders believe this could be the start of a broader cabinet shakeup as preparations ramp up for the election season. Closing segment. So the big question now, who replaces Kristi Noem? And what does this mean for Trump's political momentum heading into 2026? One thing's for sure. In Trump world, loyalty is everything, and losing it can cost you your job overnight.
No,
Well, we know.
I'm
But
not,
we
I didn't
know-
have to talk. Go ahead, ladies.
Well, we know who's replacing her, and that's Mark Wayne, not Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne, one name, Mark Wayne Mullins. And
DEI hire. DEI hire.
Let me just say this about Mark Wayne. Somebody made this comment on Blue Sky, and it's very true. It's like replacing with poop. That's what this
But that's
transition
the whole
is.
administration.
Let's get to this chick. Okay. It wasn't two people being killed by ICE under her. It was the thing that it was that disastrous performance in that hearing, the affair, and then those ads. And when John Kennedy, Republican senator from Louisiana, asked her specifically about the ads to promote herself, and if Trump had okayed it, she lied, because it's about the contracts. And then Joe Goose, who's a Democrat from Colorado, got into the weeds of the contracts, but she spent $220 million to run these ads in targeted locations. Because I didn't see any except for like the videos that people showed me. I hadn't seen any on my TV. However, this woman took taxpayer dollars to promote herself in advance of 2028 because she had aspirations of running in 2028. I was really surprised because when I saw that the ad, somebody ran it, one of the news organizations ran it the other night, and I was watching it, and the first thing she said, "Me and Donald Trump welcome you home." I'm like, wait, you put yourself above him? This man's ego is so fragile. What? Let me tell you something. That's the easiest thing to not do. That's the easiest thing that you should know to not do with him. His ego is so big. If you dare, why do you think JD Vance sits his behind down and shuts up? Because he knows.
They none of them have any sense. There's no such thing as common sense or anything. They're all out for one another. But I'm sorry, I need to interject something, Aisha. I don't mean to interrupt you,
Mhm.
but I really feel that people need to stop saying that this wench was fired, because fired means you are
Right.
out and you don't have anything else to do. But this is nothing but a big show, a big clown show, because yes, she's out as DHS secretary, but she wasn't exactly kicked to the curb.
Right.
Trump created this brand new title that never existed before,
Right.
and it's called Special Envoy for the Shield of Americas. Now, if that don't sound like a Marvel comic to me, I don't know what. But this job didn't exist before now, and it was invented just for her. So she's still getting paid with taxpayers' money.
Miles Taylor, who was the one from the first administration who wrote the anonymous article, he said that this is what Trump does in order to keep people loyal, but also keep them quiet. And he did it in the first administration, where he created positions for people, kept them on the payroll, kept them on their health care, just so they wouldn't speak to the press about the chaos going on inside. And when I say chaos, we all know the chaos that we see from DHS, but it's 100 times worse than what we know. And how do we know this? Because if you've taken a little peek over in the Fox universe, even they have started trashing her.
You know that's bad.
You know,
but to back you up on this, you know, a part of this is really crazy. Let's look at how this came down, y'all, because a lot of people are tripping about this, and it's true. Noam was actually on stage talking and doing something. She didn't even know that this had come down. So when the decision had been made, she was still talking like she was still over DHS. Then and the same thing goes with you know, Mark Wayne. He didn't know nothing about this. All this came out on social media. What kind of show are we running where things get announced on social freaking media? This is the craziest thing I have ever seen. I mean, we are so far down the, you know, all those countries that he said was, well, look at what you've made America.
Yeah. And it's even worse that he's making these very critical decisions on social media in wartime.
Yeah.
That is absolutely stupid. And not only that, but you fire the Department of Homeland Security person on social media. They don't know because she's still speaking. She doesn't find out till the press tells her when she steps off the stage. And at the same time, like an hour later, you said, well, yeah, you know, I guess there could be an attack on America. What? I guess. People are going to die. And you say that right after it boggles the mind. Now, here's the thing. Kristi Noem, she needed to be fired. And we've got to be very clear-eyed about a few things, though. She needed to be fired. But if anyone thinks that Mark Wayne Mullen is going to be any different, he is not.
Y'all but let's say this before you move on, Aisha. Let's not forget, my man was a former MMA fighter
and tried to fight the Teamsters guy in a Senate hearing. This man is going to carry out every whim of Donald Trump and Stephen Miller, and probably at a faster rate. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he'll do it with no apologies. Kristi Noem, she tried to do it with no apologies, but the thing is, she was still a woman in this cabinet. Mark Wayne will do it with no apologies, and will have
no worries about a makeup
and
budget.
No worries about it, and he will sleep just fine. I mean, I still can't believe his parents could. The name just gets them. They talk about our names.
I think Dr. Tachi couldn't wait. I think she's in. Dr. Tachi.
Yes, hello.
I was looking at my watch to see how long it would take you to jump in.
Well, as soon as when you give me the invitation, I will jump in.
What do you have to say about Kristi Noem?
I didn't want to interrupt because I know Aisha, you were still talking about it. So go ahead and I can.
Yeah, but this guy is not. You just took look. Basically, he replaced a puppy killer with an MMA fighter. Neither of them has any experience to be running the Department of Homeland Security in wartime. In wartime.
Oh, no, Aisha. We're not in war. We're in conflict, remember?
When you take out another nation's leader, you have declared war on that country, period. Because think about it. If somebody took out our president, will we not see that as an act of war?
Okay, before Dr. Tachi chimes in, I'm going to read some comments here. Enlightened Beings goes, she is trash, always has been. But that's all 47 assigns in his administration. So, and then Jen Myers goes, Aisha, remember this. I don't know. Remember what she's I don't know what you're talking about. But then Enlightened Beings goes, she is still getting paid. And then Jen goes, y'all. I haven't heard when I hear Jen go, y'all. That's
right. That's right. Jen and I had a conversation a couple months ago. She sent me a text and she said that Kristi Noem looks like a Bratz doll. Yes, she does. I do remember. Yes.
It's not letting me post a Bratz doll photo, but Kristi sure was trying to look like one. Oh boy. And then
Yeah, I mean,
Dr. Chachi says her title should be Special Envoy for Vacant-Headed Debauchery.
but the fact that he look,
Jeez.
Trump is on some Marvel Universe type stuff right now anyway with these videos that we're going to talk about later, because I mean, I had to say this on my Blue Sky. So she's going to be the special envoy for the Shield of America. So does that mean that Corey Lewandowski is going to be Captain America? Because basically they are playing games.
Oh my, you got Dr. Tachi on that one.
Once again, we are, as Dr. Tachi called, she cleaned up my speech, and we are the unfresh child in the world.
Yes.
Dr. Tachi, jump on in.
Wow. So thanks once again for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. And so three things. Number one, we are expecting, at this point, we're expecting too much. Should we expect a lot from our government? Yes. Are they going to provide? Is this one going to provide? No. So at this current point, we are expecting scholarly behavior from mediocre individuals.
Yep.
They just cannot provide. They can't, none of them, because none of them is educated enough or trained enough to be able to do the jobs they're doing. Every single bloody last one of them. They're all sub-mediocre. So we're expecting, Fulbright scholarliness from people who have not passed kindergarten. And that's not going to work. Number two, this is the conversation that's going around, especially amongst many Democrats, is that she still needs to be impeached.
Yeah.
Because if not, she can then go ahead and run for public office again.
Right.
And the being impeached should theoretically remove her from the possibility of running for anything ever again.
Yeah.
So that's
She'll get
why
there.
you're calling for impeachment. Number three, when are we going to change the national anthem to Twisted Sisters? We're not going to take it.
Oh,
because
jeez.
that's really
Exactly,
what it is.
right? Right. And you know what though? Here's the thing too. Tim Walz made Jen Psaki on MS Now interviewed him the other night. And he said, well, now that she's not there, she needs to get used to spending a lot of time in Minnesota. Because Minnesota is carrying through with investigating her.
Yeah.
On all these charges, and they're going to be calling her in for depositions, and
Rightfully so.
And Dr. Tachi is very right. They need to impeach her, but the thing is, and I think this was strategic on his part, by moving her out of the position, they can no longer try to impeach her because she's not in that role. Now, what Congress should do, she'll be in that role till the 31st of March. What they should do is move to do a vote now. But you know that little Muppet, Mike Johnson, the one who looks like a 12-year-old version of, Alfred Newman from the Mad magazine?
Mm-hmm.
He is not going to do it.
Mm-mm.
Because guess what? He's not going to do it. He's not going to run up on Trump. Why? Well, because, there's documents on him too. There's documents on him too.
You got that right.
Mm.
So,
On all of them.
right. So here we are in this space. And let's be very clear. How do I say this? There are people in this country who care more about the lives of dogs than they do about people.
Yeah.
So the woman who shot the dog in the face, she's not going to ever be elected to another office because the people who she would need to vote for her, who look like her, aren't going to do it. I wouldn't do it because I love my dog. But here's the thing. That thing alone was the reason, and Trump knows that. That alone was why he didn't pick her as VP.
Oh
The
God.
dog
Can you
the dog
imagine
can
that?
bother people.
Jesus. Can you imagine that nightmare?
Lala, what do you have anything else you wanted to add to Ms. Noem?
No, she never should have been there in the first place. First of all, we all know that every single person that Trump has picked is garbage, is trash. They know nothing about any of these positions. They're only there for some glamour reality TV show that they think they're a part of, and they think of themselves as the highest of the highest when basically they have no morals, no nothing. I think, Dr. Tachi, what did you say? What was their moral high ground? Mediocre. I think you're being too kind by giving them just the fact of calling them mediocre. No, they're worse than trailer trash, and there is a special place in that they're all going to have to go and serve. And I wish them the best in that area, because every last one of them do not care about the American people. They don't care about our country. They only care about what they want and what they can do to line their pockets. Noem is no different. And let me tell you something. As much as we all hear say we love true crime, we love that. Y'all know what happens to people who kill animals. You know what kind of people kill animals.
Yep.
And
that's how serial killers usually start.
And that's where they start.
So,
and she's proud of it. But I was very glad to hear that I think it was Rankin who said, "Oh, don't worry, I read your book, you who kill animals." Like, I'm really glad that he said that. I also am really glad that he called out the fact that she's an adulterous woman, although that doesn't matter anymore in today's age. But if y'all saw her husband, oh my God, her husband was like, "Oh my God,
wait,
did you just say that in front of me?"
What is the black woman's name? The one out of California who had all the clippings of her affair and read everything and asked her about, have you been having sex with Corey Lewandowski on the country's dime?
Yes.
And she just asked her out blatant. And if you saw, and this is the thing that's very telling, because there's a picture that someone snapped when that question was asked of her and her husband sitting behind her.
Yes.
To the left.
Yes.
He was not looking at the congresswoman with daggers in his eyes. He was looking at her. And that should tell you everything.
Everything you need to know.
But I say this, if Democrats win the House and the Senate, go back and try and hold accountable, you need to tell her people who took that money to run us back our money. Take those contracts back.
Aisha, here's the thing.
Absolutely.
They're not going to. They're not going to. They're not going to, because Democrats have no spine right now. They are, and some of them are still
not right now. But I'm talking about in the fall, because guess what? We have a chance to change the composition who's there.
I don't know.
Because me personally, I don't think anyone who can't stand on business and say, run us back our money on this, run us back our money on these tariffs. I don't think, especially when gas, you guys saw what I told you in the chat on Monday. Gas cost me $2.73. By Wednesday, I had to get gas again. It was $3.05. And yesterday it was $3.25. Today is $3.42.
Jeez.
I'm saying I don't trust anything right now. The way that they are moving in in plain sight, not even in freaking shadows, about what they're doing about the elections. Let's not play around with that. Let's not just play like that this is going to happen and we'll be able to vote everybody out. No, ma'am. Sorry, don't believe that, because what did he say? He said, if we're in war, do we have to have elections? Now we got 4 or 5 of them going, and this is exactly what he wanted. And the things that he's doing behind the scenes, pulling things, the SAVE Act is still on the table. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I have faith in any elections, because there's a big possibility that won't happen. And even if it does, he already done stole one election. So what the hell you think he gonna do in the next one?
But I need people to be very, very clear-eyed about this thing that happened, because the news of Kristi Noem being fired from that position, moved into another one, there's something else that happened. And I told you guys this in our private chat, that what this was really about and why it came at the time it came. It came in a time that coincided with House Republicans wanting to bring DHS funding back to a vote, thinking that if they got rid of Kristi Noem, that was one of the demands by Democrats, they could peel off enough Democrats to vote to end that shutdown at DHS. Guess what they did? They peeled off 5 Democrats to vote with Republicans to fund DHS again. So this to me tells me that people are very unserious about how DHS is being run and mismanaged. And those Democrats, those 5 Democrats that were happy to jump in and you know what, just jump over to the dark side. If you're going to vote with them, vote with them. I feel like that about Fetterman, who keeps voting with the Republicans. Just jump over to the dark side because we know where we stand with you. It's kind of like, you know what? I have not respect, but I can deal more with a KKK member than a moderate white person who has racism, but they didn't tell me, oh, I'm not. No, I know where I stand with that KKK person. With you, I don't. And this is how I feel with our Democratic leaders right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have any faith in them at all.
So it's not, look, it's good riddance to bad rubbish. Hello to worse rubbish.
Dr. Tachi?
Yes, 100% to everything that's been said. They absolutely need to run back the money for that $173 million sky brothel that they bought with beds and bedrooms and Dom Perignon, whatever the hell else they have there. So they need to run people back the money for that, definitely, if nothing else.
Well, you're talking about half a trillion dollars, or half $500 million.
Yeah. Exactly. And the thing is, they are running through this money like it's water, and it's our money. Case in point, this is why if you look at the comments on social media, I'm following a bunch of people that are talking about these things that are really, well versed in all of this. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the comments, and it's like, who is filing exempt this year? Who's not going to pay? Because people are tired to that point. They're like, oh, I'm not giving you a dime else to run because you've already proven you can't manage what we have. You could argue that they've never been able to manage things properly in general. But now, in particular, that you have everyone unilaterally across the board who has no idea what they're doing. They're not able to handle our money well, and they've proven it. You now are in a serious deficit. You won't admit it, but if we add up just from the past few days, even what you've done and what you've spent and what you've wasted, it's not even spent, what you've wasted, you're not equipped to handle our money. So a lot of people on social media are saying, I'm not filing for taxes this year, or I'm filing exempt, because what you won't do is take my money and then squander it, because we work hard for it.
Yeah. And I have a message for millennials on that point too, Dr. Tachi, because the oldest Gen Z people, the oldest Gen X people in about 5 years can start collecting Social Security. Millennials.
Oh, wow.
They're spending your Social Security right now. Let's be very clear about that. And there's not going to be money to replenish it because your younger folks, your younger millennials and Gen Z are so hopped up on being content creators and influencers that aren't paying into Social Security. There will be nothing for you. Remember, it's always the generation.
There's a retirement crisis coming.
Right. It is
on
coming.
both sides of the border.
And they thought it was going to hit us, but we're just hitting there. We're just there. But millennials are complete. Millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, you're all screwed. You're all
You know what, Aisha? I agree, but I contend that they're even spending the money that's supposed to be for the generation behind now.
Oh yeah.
They're squandering everything. They're grasping at straws. With this ridiculous conflict, as they call it. If you look at the cost of each type of arm that they drop, which is like in the millions, and where they hit, I mean, brilliant strategy on the Iranian side, but they had like the dummy, the painted on the ground. You know what I'm talking about? They had like aircraft that were like painted on the ground. I guess that were markers. So they hit that. You just wasted whatever you were doing because you didn't hit anything. So, just even things like that where there's no strategy, there's no planning. And so, yeah, they're running through the money that was supposed to be for like Gen X. They're running through that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're running through it. But there will be, whatever's left comes to this generation first.
Whatever's left.
There will be nothing left.
There's nothing to give.
There will be nothing left. And the thing is, you know what? There actually might have been a little something because we're actually a smaller generation than millennials, which means that wow, because remember, it's the generation before you that pays into Social Security that you collect. So we would collect what baby boomers paid into it, and they're a bigger generation than Gen X. We were already a smaller generation than the millennials. So it was already about to be short. Now there's about to be $0 into anything. And the scariest part is this. I know that they're doing it intentionally because what is their goal? What is it that they're trying to push on people? Crypto.
Mm-hmm.
They're running through this money this quick so they can turn around and be like, well, guess what? Well, we're a cryptocurrency. Our national currency is crypto.
DC just can't spell cryptocurrency, let alone understand how crypto works. They're just doing what they want with it.
Right.
And then the stupid tech bros are going along with it because they just want to fly under the radar. Really quickly, though, two points. Okay, fine. If you don't want to give people Social Security, stop charging us for it.
Thank you.
Stop it. If you really are saying, you know what, we're done with this. It came up as a way to get people to save, or really for you to forgive them an interest-free loan. It came up this way, and now we don't want to do this anymore. We're not going to charge you anymore. Stop charging people then. If this is not the system you want, stop hiding under the pretense of, it's for retirement, and then you get pennies on the dollar when you retire. Stop the rubbish. Don't charge me anymore and give me back every single cent that I've already paid into the system if you're not doing that. Every cent. And then secondly, I don't remember if it was you, Aisha, or you, LaLa, that talked about the five, I think it was you, Aisha, the 5 Democrats that they were able to wrangle on the other side. Here's the problem with those Democrats and others. They're just as spineless as the Republicans.
Yep.
They really are not interested in change. They really would rather not rock the boat. And here's the thing, they also have way too much faith in a democratic system and reaching across the aisle. When were you going to wake up and understand that we are now in an authoritarian regime and that stuff cannot work with them, especially with Republicans who are not interested in reaching across the aisle? Even if they are, they're not going to do it though because they're too afraid of Cheeto Satan.
and here's the thing. Early on, the first 2 years, you could be like, okay, they're here, they're afraid, whatever. It's a decade later. This is habit. And I need for people to understand, this has been 10 years. If it was just a year it happened, okay, fine. Even 3 or 4 years, even just his first term. It's 10 years. There's no normal to go back to. Go back to what? This is the norm for the last decade. Go back to what?
I don't understand the fear of him. What the hell is this fear of him?
Who's afraid of a man who wears a diaper?
They're probably afraid of what he can say.
Every time I hear him talk, I want to give him one of my allergy pills because I'm tired of the sniffing. Like you guys keep hearing me sniff tonight because I didn't take my allergy medicine. But my God, this man, and you have to wonder what are people thinking? You know who really hates this man? If you ever, and I wish that reporters had done their job back in 2015. If they would have really highlighted people who live in Atlantic City
Mm-hmm.
and how they feel about Donald Trump and what he did to their city.
Yeah.
Atlantic City was thriving almost as well as Las Vegas. And then he built his Trump Taj Mahal. The house isn't supposed to lose. And he was bad at running a casino. Basically bankrupted all the other casinos.
Free money. That is basically free money because people willingly come in and give you money, taking a chance. You basically should be raking in the cash. How do you mess that up? That's what I want to know.
By putting it in your own pocket.
Exactly.
because even the investors came in and got bullied by him to pay for his divorce from Marla.
Yeah. And look, I live in a state that has 2 casinos, Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun. Our casinos have really boomed as a result of what happened with Atlantic City. Okay? Keep that in mind.
Right.
Connecticut's casinos, and they're just building more, expanding how. I remember when Foxwoods, I used to go to Foxwoods back in '99, and how it looks compared to now, and how it's expanded. And I'm just like, how did this happen when there's Atlantic City, right? And I'm like, that's what happened. That's what happened. And so, look, we are in a position right now, and I guess we'll move on to the next conversation topic in a minute. We're in a position right now where here's what the firing of Kristi Noem's firing symbolizes. This man does not care about incompetence because he himself is incompetent. This man does not care about the wishes of the American people, the safety of the American people. He doesn't care about anything. He only cares about himself. And right now, he himself is still angry and vengeful because how dare people try to hold me accountable for doing crime? And let's be clear. I also want to throw this other thing in here because I don't think that anybody should overlook this. You want to talk about poor decisions, right? People want to talk about, the FC. You know why this man doesn't care? Because this is a story I read yesterday. Poor decisions. He pardoned all those January 6th rioters. One of them got sentenced to life in prison this week because the first thing he did once he got pardoned was rape children.
Yep.
Okay? So this is the kind of government we have. We have a man who unleashed a child rapist back into the world. And now there are 2 children whose lives have been completely changed. They are now going to be different people than the people that they were supposed to be.
Kristi Noem, I don't think we've heard the last of her.
No, we haven't.
No.
She will rise up again.
Yeah, but guess what? She might have to go on the cheap side now on getting her Botox and her injections and her lip fillers because she don't have that multi-billion-dollar budget anymore.
And her hair pieces.
Oh, geez.
Right. She doesn't have a wardrobe budget anymore. Because guess what? Her new job doesn't come with a budget.
Patel's next. Patel is next.
Yes. Patel's next. And
I don't know about that one.
No. Here's the thing about Patel
is next.
because they're saying that Trump is really 2 things that Patel did that really undermined him and got on his nerves. The first thing was Trump does not like people drinking like that in public intoxication. He can't stand that people associated with him doing that. The second thing, the same week that he's doing bombing and stuff in Iran and Kash Patel fires the people who have the specialty who specialize in Iranian relations in the FBI and knew all the stuff. Now, here's the thing that I read somewhere secretly he's trying to go back and get those people to come back, and those people are like, go to.
What's new? He's already done that. He's fired so many people that he knew that, all of a sudden and hired them back. This is nothing new. This is absolutely nothing new. And Patel is trash just like everybody else. And the thing is, I love how they just all tell on each other. Like, no, he didn't go over to the Olympics. Meanwhile, he's in there with all the, in there hollering like he was a part of the team.
Like a frat boy. Like a frat boy on a bender.
Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
It's like when you take off from work pretending to be sick, and then you are in Playa del Carmen all up on social media saying, hey, I'm on vacation, yet you called off sick. You don't don't get on social media if this is what the thing is. And it goes to show that they're not on one accord.
Yeah.
So as together as they try to purport they are, they're not. They're not on one accord. One person says this, another person says something else. So whatever befalls Mr. Patel, that's what he gets.
Well, the Corey Lewandowski thing really got under Trump's skin, and it made me realize, especially watching that hearing, we know this for sure now. His people aren't telling him everything. He watched TV and saw that and was disgusted. Now, once somebody shows him the news clips of Patel taking flights to see his girlfriend and taking the planes to see his girlfriend, to the point that the FBI agents who needed the plane to deal with a mass shooting at Brown University had to get a government car and drive 9 hours. Yeah, Kash Patel's he's gonna talk himself out of a job. Look, keep doing the bro stuff, boy. Keep doing it.
And what about Pam Bondi?
Oh, she's on the list.
Yeah. Oh, those. Oh, what? Yeah. She's on the list. I'm not exactly sure. Look, she's on the list, but I think it'll be those when they subpoena her and talk to her specifically about those things. When the question comes about what was in the documents that she just released that really don't look good for him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's going to be it.
Let's catch up on some comments. Enlightened Beings says it's politics as usual. And Regina's in the house. She says, hey guys, just got in from canvassing for Dem candidates. Another viewer here says, well, he didn't fire her. He changed her position to something else.
No, he didn't change her position. He fired her. Technically, he fired her from being secretary. That is a technical point. He gave her a new position, but he did have to fire her. The technical point is because if the person's not fired, the Senate can't swear. They can't. What is it that they do? They can't vote in another person.
Okay.
And that Mark Wayne, one name, would only be able to serve in that position for a limited amount of time.
He'll be gone too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Another person too says Kash Patel and anybody in the administration, the regime is listening to orders that the evil one is given.
You know what though? Yes and no. I think that you got to remember there's a lot of egos in there, and I think that they're listening to his orders, but some of them are going off on like this whole thing with these things. Kristi Noem went on her own and approved those no bid government contracts, and when he found out about it, he didn't give the word for that, so he was mad. And I think that what we're going to find more often than not, there are a lot of people like Kash Patel who are going off and doing their own things with things. Tulsi Gabbard is another one that they're not, that he's not aware of yet. We might be, but you got to remember, they keep him very, very closed in terms of what he sees. Guess what? Here's the thing, for example, he quoted He quoted a poll where it said that he had a 90% approval on the job, a 90% approval on the war in Iran. What they didn't tell him was they only polled the most extreme people in MAGA.
Yeah,
So that doesn't mean that's not 90% of Americans. That's just 90% of the extreme MAGA people.
Well, 90% of 5
Oh.
still 90%. So
right, exactly. See, they don't get in the weeds. They just told them, well, 90% people approve. They just let out MAGA extreme.
And okay, I just saw on the screen. So have a friend visiting the show, Daily Scrum News, which is my good associate, Donovan Martin, and you should check out the Daily Scrum News online. He's actually on one of the shows I host, The Morning Vibe. He's on the first Monday of each month at 9 a.m. He says, Noem will turn on 47. The last time she addressed Congress, members of the Senate stated, quote, 47 with fire you, and when he does, we're coming after you.
I wonder about that because she really does want to be president. She really does want to run in 2028. That's what the ad buy was for. It was to promote her in areas where she thought she could win a primary against J.D. Vance. And I'm not so sure she's going to turn on him because she saw what happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene the moment that she did, and that MAGA turned on her. So I really think that she's.
Yeah, I don't think she has the heart. I don't think she's got the guts like Marjorie did on that. She wouldn't be able to take that.
So Regina says, remember that SNL line from Dan Aykroyd to Jane Curtin when they played newscasters? Jane, you ignorant.
Yeah.
Apply that to Noem and Bondi.
Yeah.
Well,
perfect.
Bondi is doing her very best Regina George impersonation in Mean Girls.
She is. She's trying so hard. Poor thing.
I actually created an illustration of her as Regina George sitting in front of Congress.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Aisha was like, I have.
And when they asked her, why don't you release the files? Like, I don't know. Why are you so obsessed with me?
Oh
Why are
my
you so obsessed
goodness.
with Epstein
So
files?
Regina says, and Dr. Vibe will disapprove of my comment, but I don't care. Hey, Regina, we're waiting for you to call in. Dr. Tachi's in on the reg. I'm just waiting for you because I'm just going to go holy when you call in one day. All right.
Yes.
So Noem, gone but not forgotten, correct?
Yeah, we ain't heard the last.
Gone,
part.
but she put it this way: she left from being a major player to now being a side piece.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Ask her husband how he feels about it.
I mean, because she has her own side piece.
But here's his facial expressions when she was testifying were priceless. They were priceless.
He was like, "Girl, if we weren't in the hot seat right now, I would divorce you."
Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Yeah. So I think so she has aspirations to when you all were saying president, I said president of what? So she has aspirations for that. That's fine. But we also have to remember where we live and the gender dynamics here.
Oh yeah.
It's not even she's a woman, she won't win. That's part of it. However, the bigger part is you went against your husband. You had an affair. And that's going to be the big thing. And you can see it doesn't matter because the person that's currently occupying the White House does what he likes when it comes to relationships. It's only because he's Methuselah's age now that he can't do any more stuff.
And this week, Republicans did force that guy in Texas to end his campaign because of his affair.
Yes, absolutely. But so now, if she wants to come back for that again, this will be a thing. I think that will be for those people that will be on her side. That will be a bigger thing than the Jets and all the mishandling of ICE because her people approve of those types of things. Oh, but what they won't approve of is this affair.
All right.
And one last thing, and you can here's the thing: how you know her aspirations. Does anybody remember what Kristi Noem looked like when she was in Congress? Because she used to be in Congress. She had a short haircut. Her face was real round. And I mean, she's 54. At that, she looked like she was about in her mid to late.
Sorry.
Huh? Yeah, she looked at me like she was in her 60s at that time. Then she had a makeover. She got her teeth bonded. She got them bleached. She got lip injections. She's got all the pock marks on her face because guess what? Botox is a toxin, and when you have an allergic reaction to the toxin, it looks like your face looks like you have like what we used to call back in the 80s pizza face.
Yeah.
And she got extensions and all that and all this stuff and all and outfit makeover while she was running for governor of South Dakota, because that was her path. That was her pathway. You know, she reminds me of, if you're old enough to remember, you remember. She reminds me of Michelle Bachmann. Y'all remember crazy Michelle Bachmann?
Interesting.
If you don't know her, go look her up.
All right. Regina says she wouldn't want to be responsible for my heart attack, Dr. Vibe. You won't be. Don't worry. It's all good. Daily Scrum says Noam will not win a primary. There's a quiet storm brewing behind the scenes with Ruby and Vance to be at the top of the ticket.
Oh boy.
But you know, here's the thing. I don't think she cares. she's a glutton for punishment. Look, people couldn't even tell her. People kept telling her, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're going to fight. She did not care. I don't think she cares. I think that, here's the thing. A lot of these people run with the hope the Fortune 100 companies will snatch them up. That's the whole thing. But has anybody looked at Michelle Bachmann?
No, we're going to get away from that right now.
You don't see crazy Kristi Noem, especially because Michelle Bachmann was crazy looking in the eyes too. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to our next conversation. Because I didn't know you. Well, you know, you ladies make incredible. I didn't think you'd go this deep on Kristi Noem, because I said, okay, all right. Let's go to our next conversation piece. Here we go.
The America-Iran war is now in its second week, and global reactions are splitting the world into camps: backers, critics, and the terrified middle. From Trump's demands for Iran's surrender to UN ceasefire pleas, here's the breakdown right now. Thanks for watching. Do my next time. U.S. allies rally. President Trump frames U.S.-Israeli strikes as essential to dismantle Iran's nuclear program and proxy attacks. The UK, Germany, France, Canada, and Australia affirm Israel's right to defend itself and back curbing Tehran's influence, though they stress de-escalation. Canada's foreign minister called it a necessary response, but warned of refugee flows and oil spikes hitting North America. Europe's tightrope. EU leaders like Macron decry the dangerous spiral, pushing emergency UN sessions and restraint from all sides. They condemn Iran's missile retaliation on Israel and Gulf allies, but hesitate on endless war, citing energy crises and migration risks. Public protests in Paris and Berlin demand peace now. Russia, China, Axis, and Global South. Russia and China label U.S. actions illegal aggression, vowing diplomatic and economic pushback while urging Iran to hold firm. Brazil, South Africa, and others warn of grave regional fallout, refusing to endorse strikes and fearing oil disruptions for emerging markets. They frame it as Western hypocrisy post-Ukraine. UN and economic tremors. UN Chief Guterres slammed violations of the UN Charter by both parties, calling for immediate talks. Oil has surged 25% on Strait of Hormuz threats, hammering global inflation. U.S. polls show 60% against escalation. Iranians brace under airstrikes. They are best on base. They are making Somon typens of nace with how darked. What's next? Allies dig in, adversaries mobilize, and most nations beg for off-ramps before this metastasizes. For Canadians, it's higher gas, supply chains, and refugee policy debates. The next G7 call could shift everything. Stay tuned. This war's rewrite of global order is just starting.
All right, we're talking about how the world is reacting to the America-Iran war right now. Ladies, go for it.
Well, first of all, we're not getting told the truth in America. The bought out media is truly not telling the truth. I can guarantee you right now that most Americans do not know that a school was bombed in Iran and it killed many students. And that is being reported all across the world about what is happening. You're talking about children bombing a school. But then again, you're coming from a country that doesn't care about children, and the fact that we still have all these school shootings and these mass shootings. So why should a school in Iran be any different for the American people? International coverage is really focused on saying what is happening. There has actually been over, I think the last time I checked, 1,300 civilian deaths from this. But this is where things start getting murky. International media has been covering the civilian casualties, the school and the bombing is in the humanitarian part of it. But America's coverage and conversation is only focused on the political messaging and the surface level of what's going on, including things like Trump coming out talking about it's unconditional surrender that he came out with today. Surrender to what? We are at their mercy right now with the oil and everything else that they have in contract. And the fact that the news has come out that Russia and China have decided that they are the ones who's going to be helping Iran. So much so that Russia actually gave plans to Iran of where our military are, where our ships are, and everything. But America is not getting this information. And when they finally do get that information, it's 2 and 3 days later. And by then they've blown another smokescreen, because y'all, last night we hit Ecuador again. And he's determined to hit all of the Latin American countries and claim that it's because of these drug cartels. The world is not pleased, but the world is also very split. I can speak to Portugal and Spain because I have direct connections there. Spain did not allow America to use their bases to attack Iran. And because of that, Trump is, and now Spain is a country because they don't want to do his bidding. However, I was extremely disappointed in the fact of learning that Portugal did allow him to use the bases that were based in I think in the Azores, which is little islands of Portugal. And there is a lot of split right now over how they're handling that. But the UK and all of them they're all scrambling to figure out how they're going to do this. And here's my problem with this. I'm tired of scrambling. When the hell are you going to do something? You're going to continue to let this madman run and terrorize the whole wide world, and you're not going to have the spines or the grow some to knock him off of his platform. And this includes all of the platform of the people of Project 2025. You are not getting the truth about what is going on in the world because he controls the media. So I suggest that y'all find somewhere that is telling you the truth here, as well as many other places that are telling you the truth of what's going on over there. This is not a good thing. You are putting our troops in danger. I have a nephew that has been called to the Middle East when my man is coming out here standing at the podium talking about there will be deaths. Put your son in a suit and send him. Because you're not telling the truth of how many of our people are in danger and dying as we are speaking. And that's what LaLa got to say about it.
Well, yesterday in our conversation, we had a conversation like Dr. Vibe said at the top. And I said, and this is what I said, this is what World War III looks like. It's a million different conflicts all over the globe started by one superpower, being us. So it's us against Iran, us against Ecuador. Then don't forget Venezuela is still there. But then Iran is getting assistance from Russia. Russia's still going to be able to attack Ukraine. China just got permission to go into Taiwan. It's not going to be one big war that everybody's fighting like World War II was together or against each other. It's different. It's a whole bunch of different little wars going on at the same time, at the behest of one man. And let me be very clear. I need for us to all be very clear. This is not a war of aggression. This is like they called, what was it? They called Vietnam. This is a war of arrogance. This is a war of arrogance. And we have to ask, because they were close to a deal, we have to ask, what didn't Jared Kushner get in those negotiations that led to this current situation? Because Donald Trump sent a real estate guy to negotiate an arms deal. Think about that. He sent a real estate guy to negotiate an arms deal. Of course, there was never going to be any solution on an arms deal to a real estate guy if he doesn't get the real estate he wants. Let's be very clear-eyed about that. And beyond just that, we have to go into how this country is treating this war. LaLa, I feel you're passionate about your nephew being called, because they're over here treating this war like it's a game. How do we know? They got gamers creating content. They got gamers creating content, taking clips from Braveheart, SpongeBob SquarePants, Call of Duty, and meshing it in with real footage as if that is supposed to be cool. And Pete Hegseth is still playing Battleship like he did in his backyard in 1985. That's what this, and you know, that speech he gave the other day, I was driving in my car, so I heard it. It was worse when I got home and saw him. This man is looking in the camera, maximum force, maximum power. Like, dude, this is not a Hollywood set here. My daughter is 23 years old. My daughter said, "Why does he talk in sound bites?" She's like, he's strung along a whole lot of like little what was it you called it? A whole bunch of little words together, like just words together, just strung a whole bunch of them together, little clips together, and tried to make a speech that made no sense. It was rambling. And I need people to be very, very clear-eyed about what is going on. He is about to put troops on the ground. Let's be very clear about that. We know this is coming.
He's already announced it.
Right. And not only that, but what did Iran say? Bring it. Because here's the thing. The Americans are treated, and I don't mean our soldiers. I mean the leadership in the executive office is treating this like a game. But real people will die. And the people that they're fighting fight for martyrdom. They fight to die. The goal is to be martyred. Our soldiers fight knowing that they could die, but that's not the goal. And so that's a different spirit of fighting. When you have people who are fighting with the purpose of, please, I need to die. This is the only way I get. There's
seven virgins.
They see honor in that death. Okay, we give our soldiers honor for fighting and in those who died, like the ones who are coming home today. We give them honor for the sacrifice. Those people don't see they don't see honor unless you die fighting for this. And so here's some a really good military tactical person said this yesterday. I forgot his name, but he said, you cannot fight a ground war with technology. And this is what Trump thinks he can do. This guy is high on his own supply. He did the thing that it went off without anybody dying in Venezuela, taking the leader, even though the leadership didn't really change, right? It wasn't a regime change, even though he likes to call it that. No, it was just musical chairs. That's it. Line of succession, just like in the United States, right? But he's high on that victory that he's claiming. So he thinks he can go around the whole world.
Are in his head.
Exactly. But he thinks he can go around the whole world and do the same thing. And he does not know who he is dealing with. And let's be very clear. The thing about those videos that disturbed me more than anything is that they're playing with this like little boys without realizing the real cost of war. And here's the thing that those stupid gamers making these videos don't get. Yeah, you play these games, but here's the thing you don't get that our soldiers go through. When a bomb goes off, the sound, the smell, the stench of burning flesh, decomposing bodies. That's real. That's
real.
Our soldiers are going to come back with PTSD. Okay? You ask anyone who had to see that in the last war, in Desert Storm, Vietnam, that stays with them. There are soldiers, they wake up in night terrors, and he's willfully doing this for what? He cannot give a clear reason. And then his little thing today about, oh, Iran's going to be hit big today. You know why Iran's going to be hit big today? Because Obama got coverage for giving a speech at giving the eulogy at Jesse Jackson's funeral yesterday, and said, every day you wake up and it's something different. And that's what his little fifis. So now he's got to go, oh, we're going to go launch some big. Guess what? You are and this is the thing that people who are in the military, who are tactical people, will tell you. We are spread too thin. He's going all over the place. We're spread too thin. Our military is spread too thin. But guess what? So is our weaponry. He's doing all this front loading of bombs right now. Dude, they said, come on. They're okay with you spending and he's doing the big bombs, right? When Ukraine is like, we'll help you, show you how you can use smaller things, because we've had to figure out. No, he's like, he wants the big explosion, because it's all a game to this guy. It is a game. And I really have an issue. You know, yeah, Obama didn't serve, Clinton didn't serve, but you know what? Obama didn't get drafted. Trump got drafted. He got drafted. He got drafted in life. Obama didn't. Obama's thing, it happened to be about age. There wasn't a war going on at the time.
Yeah, bone spurs.
Look, Bill Clinton didn't go because of marijuana. Now,
all right, let me jump in. I know Dr. Tachi may have something we want to add. So just the Daily Scrum News says, from partners on the ground, it's reported to be over 1,000 dead American soldiers. Regina says, I've been watching international news to get stories. Not looking good. Carpet bombing in Tehran, American embassies being blown up, and many more being dead than being admitted to.
And
I need to stop you on that.
Okay, go ahead, LaLa.
I need to stop you on that, because that I want to tie right into that comment, and the fact that our so-called leaders of America have told American citizens who are in these places, don't depend on America to come and save you.
Yep.
We're not coming.
When they call the embassies and when they call the Department of Defense and all that to Secretary of State's office, like, sorry, we can't help you. But they did fly out the MAGA influencers.
All right. And I know Daily Scrum News was asking for the call-in code. So what I'm going to say is, you on your favorite browser, put in callme.road.com, put in the code FSP-L8L. There's a code that shows there, but override it with FSP-L8L. It'll take you to another screen. I'll ask you to put in your name. Make sure you have it on, there's a slide. I can't remember, but when you call in, we'll have you there. Dr. Tachi, join in.
Yes, 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000% to what everybody said. I keep thinking about the Americans that are either on vacation or on holiday or live in, it's West Asia. The Middle East is a colonial term to separate. So let's call it what it is, that are in West Asia right now. And I keep thinking about how the embassies, even if they wanted to help, they couldn't, because to your point, we're so stretched thin, and they got rid of so many people that could have been useful in this endeavor. And so they simply are not there. They don't have the staff to be able to do these things. It sends a terrible message, because it says, okay, well, we can't depend on our government to do things for us if we get into trouble. And we are paying for the pleasure of not being able to depend on the government. After this, if I can only imagine how frightened people must be if they are not used to this type of thing, and the average American is not. So that's one thing. Number two, I'm very tired of seeing social media being used for official communique for the government.
Yeah.
It's improper, and this should have been stopped a long time ago. But what happens is, he does whatever on his social network, and I'm not even going to say it. He does whatever on his social network, but then other people follow suit, and they start doing things on X, etc. I get it, but just because you have a social account, you should not be putting official policy and official word on different things, different happenings on social media. That should actually come after the fact. But what has happened is that's the first line of quote unquote defense before it's actually announced. And I'm like, that's improper. So when things quieten down, we need to come back and look at why are people, government officials, putting official policy and a communique on social media. That should not happen. It's helpful in terms of proof for us when things are being done wrong, but it's improper for that. And then, okay, now it's law. Let's stop that. Yeah. The thing is, too, I'm also very disappointed in where is it? What good is the UN? The UN is absolutely useless. All they keep doing is condemning what is going on. You people are useless. I'm pointing fingers at Europe as well. Why are you allowing? This is the thing they're allowing. Spain grew a backbone and said, "Oh yeah, you're not going to," or as they say here, "You're not finna land your planes and things here." But everybody else is humming and hawing and thinking there's still a modicum of good in this individual. My dear, there's not, and there's never been. So why are you allowing this? So I look at Europe and I'm like, now how did you start enslaving again when you're this untogether? It's not a word, but I'm making it one. So I'm disappointed in Europe's response, and also UN, where are you? Stop just condemning and actually work on doing something. If you are, my bad, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
Another thing that they don't realize here is that certain cultures, we don't have a good cultural compass. So we don't understand things from a cultural perspective. People from different Arabic cultures, I know I'm Nigerian, we don't take disrespect lightly. So when you do things that are seen as disrespectful, believe you will feel the wrath afterwards. So you're coming from an American standpoint and you think everybody has a Western or American standpoint, and they simply do not. And so now what you're seeing is also a result of being disrespected. In addition to what Aisha said, they have nothing to lose, because if this is seen as honorable, you said what? I have nothing to lose. And that's very dangerous when you're up against people that really have nothing to lose, because this is seen as honorable. So to Aisha's point, and then finally, what they're also not looking at, and I posit that they don't give a, is that they're actually creating a mental health crisis that we're talking about now, these times of war. And you both just talked about this. When you are a soldier and you come back home, they're going to be dealing with some major PTSD. Whenever there's times of conflict, that's always the case. But it goes even further than just the PTSD. You're creating a conflict where that can also lead to homelessness, that leads to drug abuse, that leads to a whole bunch of other maladies that then also costs us money. So the cost of the war in dollars is beyond what you're doing right now. It's right. Also a human cost, and there's also the extended financial cost when these soldiers come home and things may go awry. So that's what I have to say.
Well, remember how come the opioid epidemic got so bad in this country, right?
Yeah.
Look, people coming home. And think about a lot of the people who were soldiers coming home injured. They were just giving them scripts for it. But you know what else, Dr. Taki, you said something that made me think about something that I said to Dr. Vibe and LaLa yesterday, was that we are about to see something like we've never seen before. We're about to see something like we've never seen before. And this man, he's going into all these conflicts. But remember that people retaliate. This kind of stuff radicalizes people. This is what makes people, people don't just out of nowhere come out and say death to America. Correct. Right? This is what radicalizes people. And his assumption is, somebody asked him, do you think there'll be retaliation? Remember what he said? Yeah, people will die. But guess what? His assumption
is
that,
how he said it, low, right, y'all.
Just listen. His idea is that retaliation is going to be immediate on American soil. And what did I tell you two yesterday? I said it's not going to be immediate, but we got two specific dates we need to be concerned about. We've got a 200, because it's symbolic. 9/11 happened on a date that was symbolic. What is 911? That is our national emergency number. 2 dates this year. We've got a 250th anniversary on July 4th. Trump is planning a big thing down in DC. Okay? That's 1. 2, what's going to be the 25th? What's the 25th anniversary in September? The 25th anniversary of 9/11. So you don't think that people who will die for martyrdom, you don't think that they think in symbolism? It's arrogant for him to think that, oh yeah, we'll bomb them, then yeah, they might attack somebody here in America as a retaliation, immediate back. No, because revenge is a dish best served cold.
Really quickly, Aisha, exactly. But we're dealing with someone who thinks that everything ends when the cameras shut off.
Yeah.
He's a reality television star that has no clue what to do here. And he's surrounded himself with other daft ones that have no clue either. Yeah. It's a recipe for disaster from the start.
Yeah. And I'm really afraid for young people because, he's like, oh yeah, we've had record numbers during. No, you haven't. Stop lying. No, the military has been struggling to recruit people, and I'm very afraid for these young people now who are in high school now, early, just getting out. I'm really afraid for them because they can't even tell us how. When you ask them how long, they're like, well, we don't know till we're done. Well, guess what? George Bush kind of said the same thing too, and it went on for years, decades. So I'm really worried for the next generation, particularly those who because Trump somebody else asked him about the draft and he said, oh, we might have to. Well, he's so flippant about it. And I really worry for young people.
So let's bring it back to sober real quick. Because I know we've talked about this and we could talk about this forever because there's so much going on with this, but I want to sober this up. And I really want you guys to listen to the fact that today, March 7th, 2026, 6 U.S. Army Reserve soldiers were brought back home. They were killed in this conflict, and the first 6 have landed back home. Not only have they landed back home, the ramifications of this are worldwide. And these families are the ones that are going to have to deal with this. Yeah. So Major Jeffrey O'Brien, 45 years old. Captain Cody Cork, 35 years old.
Hold on. Daily Scrum, turn the echo cancellation off. Go ahead. He has to turn off the echo cancellation. Keep on going.
Chief Warrant Officer Robert Marzan, 54 years old. Sergeant First Class Nicole M. Armour, 39 years old. Sergeant First Class Noah Tizin, and if I hope I said that correctly, 42 years old. And Sergeant Declan Coda, 20 years old, are American soldiers who died in service because of a whim of a madman.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me talk. So Daily Scrum, turn on the echo cancellation. I can't let you on because you're echoing. There should be a slider that you have that says echo cancellation. Slide it to the green.
He also should make sure that his volume is not up on YouTube, because he already has a problem watching YouTube as well.
And make sure you don't have the YouTube channel on either. Yes, not working. What do you mean not? Okay, I can't let you on with that echo like that. Unfortunately, it just let me see if I can suggest anything else quickly. But
if he turns off his if he turns off the computer
YouTube,
or whatever,
I will try again. Okay, I think it's the YouTube thing that's throwing. Yeah, I still hear that echoing. Yeah, I think with. I agree with what everyone's will happen down the line. I don't. You just said think about retaliation right here and now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a long game, not a short game, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Well, think about how long between the 93 attack on the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
And then 2000, that was 7 years. 7 years for them to figure out, okay, we couldn't blow it up from the bottom.
All right, some comments here. Got some people in the room, so let me just pull it up. Oh, so Regina says, what about 47 and his admin asking Zelensky for drone technology? The irony. She also says the cost of war on all levels is astronomical.
And we're spending $1 billion a day. Let's be very clear about that. $1 billion a day. And that is not, someone said that is not the administrative, even the administrative costs. That's what we're spending on the technology part.
So technology, yeah. So Suna Canella says, hey, says, hey, everyone. Also, Regina says, you guys probably don't remember, but the national news stations used to read the names of the daily dead every night at the end of the news hour during the Vietnam War with pictures.
I don't remember that, but they did it after Desert Storm, remember? And they were doing it after, for a time after when he went into Afghanistan. They're doing it after.
Okay, you still have that echo cancellation on. I can't let you on. You're missing out on something. You're trying to call in, but I can't let you on with that echo stuff on, my man. There's a slider saying turn echo cancellation on the screen. Slide over the green. Regina says, thanks, LaLa, for reading their names.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it's turned on, then you've got to turn up. You must be listening to this at the same time, or you're getting some sort of echo. But every time I turn you on, I get echo. Hold on. Okay, I don't hear it now. Are you there?
I'm here.
Thank you. All right. So this is a really good friend of the Dr. Vibe show, Donovan Ralph Martin Sr, who runs a great online publication called the Daily Scrum News. So I'm going to do this, Donovan, because we're coming to a close pretty soon, but I want you to spend 30 seconds introducing the Daily Scrum News and then give some perspectives that you feel will add positive value to the conversation.
For sure. Your guests are fantastic. I love listening to their commentary about what's going on, especially from stateside. We cover the news, national, local, and try to give it just the facts without the spin or the rhetoric, and because people need the news. And here's one thing we could tell you for sure: just because we have lots of partners working on the ground in Iran, in parts of lots of the Middle East, the casualty to the U.S. soldiers, from what we have been told and seen, is well past 1,000 casualties. The number is staggering. Remember, there's over 40,000 US personnel stationed throughout the various bases. The Bagram Air Base alone was completely obliterated. There is no standing US base in the Middle East right now that is intact. Another thing is, and the biggest thing people are not being told by the US media is the significance of the Bagram Air Base, because that is where it housed the US Fifth Fleet. That is their refueling, their weapons depot. That is where the USS Cole and the USS Gerald Ford and any of the supporting battle groups would have gone to rearm. The USS Cole, sorry, not the USS Cole, the USS Lincoln was struck by a missile. That is not being told, and it's being downplayed. And that is why it went from 400 miles off the coast to now well beyond 1,000 miles. So there is the videos and the stuff we get, the raw videos that is not even surfaced in the media. Well, once this stuff makes it to the American media, all is going to break loose, because the situation right now is unattainable. Not to mention is the missiles and the armory, they're down. They're significantly depleted right now. So the US warships are sitting ducks.
Yeah.
The situation is so dire, and it's unfortunate that the news will not tell you this. The majority of the US THAAD missiles, the Patriot missiles, the Patriot hubs, all of the missile silos, are more than 70% of them have been wiped out. That is why you're seeing so much missiles breaking it through the Iron Dome. There's a battery station that's $1.2 billion. So they're strategically set up throughout the Middle East, so throughout parts of Kuwait and other Arab nations. Their radar facilities, they're completely out. So one of the reasons why the first strike was successful on Iran was they were using the GPS, Global Positioning System, which is essentially owned by the US military. That's been changed. All of the GPS systems are being done by the Chinese Baidu and Russian satellite. So as of right now, the Iranian military has real-time, literally minute by minute, knowledge of exactly where every U.S. naval ships are stationed, every U.S. satellite, every U.S. Missile defense system. So that's why they're going down. To date, there's been over 30 U.S. planes and drones that have been shot down, and you will not see that in the news.
You know, the other thing that they're not telling you too is that Trump had a meeting yesterday with the companies that manufacture a lot of our weaponry, and they were trying to tell him he wants them to speed up production. They cannot, because the people that they were hiring to do the entry level parts of the job, they replaced with AI. And then what he doesn't realize, that some of us do, is that a lot of the minerals and things that we need, the supplies that we need to make those things, do not come here. They don't come from here. We don't make them. We have to import them from other places. And his tariffs, have created a problem in the supply chain for those things. So he can stomp and cry and whine all he wants. Make me more weapons. Make me more weapons. They don't have the physical capacity to make them. And not only that, it takes time to make them. You can't just go in there and be like, oh yeah, we're going to turn out a bomb in 6 hours. Doesn't work like that.
Okay. I think we'll end off on that. So what I'm going to ask for everybody is, I'm going to ask from Donovan to give what he feels we'll see over the next week, and then contact information. Then also ask Dr. Tachi what she feels we'll see over the next week, contact information. Donovan, go ahead.
Well, then it's going to get worse. I strongly believe this is the existential point where Iran literally has nothing to lose. And I would not be surprised, and this is, I'm from what we're hearing, that within a week from now, the majority parts of Israel will look like Gaza. And that is the intent, to ensure that there is such a crippling blow that Israel cannot come back and do what they did. So when this war is done and all said and done, Israel will look like Gaza.
Mm.
And you could just reach us at thedailyscrumnews.com.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
Fantastic guest.
No, and please feel free. We do this regularly. Once while we're off from Saturday, on Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. I think that Aisha and LaLa and Dr. Tachi appreciate your insights. In regards to that, I'm going to put Donovan's website and put it in the comment section on everywhere. Okay, in all the comment section. Dr. Tachi, you're next.
Yes, Donovan, hello, and thank you so much for coming on. You added such great context to the conversation, and I'm, again, happy to be on with all of you beautiful people. I have to agree with Donovan that it's going to get worse, that it's like when you get your hair done, say you're someone that you get your hair done.
I don't, by the way.
Silk press. Oh,
just want to make sure you know that.
Pretend you got a silk press, okay? The U.S. is the person with the fresh silk press that doesn't want to jump into the water because it's going to mess up their hair. Iran is natural, so they don't give it. They're going to jump in the water because they have nothing to lose. So to Donovan's point, 100%. So unfortunately, I think that's what we're going to see. And I think that people are going to realize that they are in over their heads with this. They've been allowed to be arrogant. And I'm saying us, the US, has been allowed to be arrogant for such a long time that this is the reckoning and the humbling. I think that's going, and some people still won't be humble, but I think more people will start to wake up to see, oh, well, they're not so all-powerful Oz anymore anyway. So that's what I think.
Okay, so Dr. Tachi, how can people get in touch with you?
Forgot that. So you can reach me on Instagram if you want to send me a message at Dr_TACHI. That's at Dr_Tachi. You can also check us out on Indie Soup Media, which is, and I'm the founder. It's an independent network for independent content creators. We are on hiatus right now, but we will be back in June. But we have a lot of great content you can watch on demand right now. And so just go to at Indie Soup Media on YouTube and on all social platforms.
Okay, so you too, if you want, you can hang back and you want to chat with us after the end of the show. Just hold tight sure. We'll hang out. All right. We'll do how you can contact both our ladies, because they've said what they've had to say on this conversation. So first things first, we want to know where you can get a hold of Dr. LaLa.
Well, you can find me at laurakey.net. I have a lot of free things there for you to help you your lifetime. In the scheme of things, it's a little hard for me to tell you to go there to find free things when the severity of what we are going through in America is so beyond words. If you want to reach me, you can reach me there. But my last word is please, please, please do not act like this is just some news story. We are dealing with real life. People are losing their lives, and the administration is lying to you, and you can continue to argue with one another however many times that you want to over what is right and wrong. I do know that life matters and our soldiers matter. American people matter. And when the people who are supposed to take safeguard over all of those things are at this corruption stage, at what point do we, the people, decide to stand up and do something about it? We outnumber them. There is protocol. Don't you dare say you are powerless. And you need to stop arguing over things that don't really matter. American lives are being lost. This is not okay, and it's not normal, and it never will be normal. Do something. If that means that you just need to go to the library and help a child read some kind of way, do some kind of good, go do it now. Stay in the lane that you can help the most. But don't ever let them continue to divide us with the lies that they are doing now. And that's all I have to say today.
Thank you, LaLa. Thank you, LaLa. Appreciate that. Next up, Aisha K. Staggers.
My information is down below on the screen, but I think this might actually be my last show for a while. I will learn on Monday for sure. Yeah, I agree with everything that LaLa said, but most of all, more importantly, protect your peace, please, because things are about to get really hot. And I want you have to be well in mind, body, and spirit, because that is the only way that you're going to be able to be clear-eyed about what's going on.
Thank you so much. Thank you, LaLa. And bring it to myself. So, if you want to find out more about me, I'm the boring one out of the whole bunch, but if you want to find out more about me, best place to go to is taplink.cc/the drvibeshow.com. As always, if you have a moment, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show. Excuse me. On YouTube, and hit the notification button, like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, TikTok, and my days on TikTok are TikToking, Blue Sky, and Substack. Also, if you want to advertise your business product or service on any of the platforms I'm on, please email me dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. And finally, if you can watch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and the website, thedrvibeshow.com. Another epic conversation, and you probably don't hear this on a regular basis, weekly basis, anywhere else. But as always, we want to finish off with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history. Try to do both. And God bless. Peace be well. Keep the faith. Well, good. And also want to shout out people liking this on Facebook: Mary Jo Allen, Bart M. Van Patten, and of course, number one, Jen Myers. God bless. Peace be well. Keep the faith. Walk good.